Hey everyone, happy Thanksgiving. It is going to be a fun week for our house. We have a bunch of people coming in, and then of course we have college football and all of that stuff that's happening this week. And so I have to plan ahead in order for me to make sure I make strong health choices. And so I just wanted to focus this video on just encouraging all of us to avoid sweets and not letting it sabotage our diets. So stay with me, and I'm going to give you 5 tips for you to stay strong during the holiday season. Okay, let's go. All right, so if you are like me, you might struggle with different types of food groups. So for me, I struggle with sugar. I love sugar. I'm addicted to it, and I have been sugar-free for a couple months now, and it has really paid off. Just got on the scale last week, lost another 7 pounds. So I'm super excited about this. I know it is something that is definitely good for me. And so I want to keep going. I want this to be a lifestyle. And so if you are right along with me and you want to start making better health choices, but you know that the holidays are coming up and there's holiday parties and get-togethers and tons of food and tons of sweets and desserts and all of that stuff, it can be very overwhelming. So let's go ahead and jump into 5 tips that work for me, because remember, I'm doing this journey with you. I'm not there yet, but these are the tips that work for me, and hopefully we will enjoy our holiday season and at the same time stay strong in our health and weight loss efforts. Okay, so tip number 1 is have a plan. So for instance, I know that Thanksgiving is coming up in a couple days, and I know that we are going to have lots of food and lots of desserts and all of that stuff. And so I have to have a plan for what am I going to have, what is good for me to have, what is going to sabotage my efforts, and I'm going to come up with different items that I know I can eat that are not going to overall hurt my weight loss journey. But having a plan ahead of time is very important. So for instance, it helps me grocery shop. It helps me get the items that I need, in order to make food that does not have the sugar in it. A lot of added sugar and stuff nowadays. So coming up with a list, going shopping, bringing home the items that I know that I can have that are good for me. That is very important for me to be successful this week, and hopefully for you too. So have a plan, come up with a list, do your shopping early, figure out what you can have, and go from there. And then that leads really to number 2, because tip number 2 is to create healthier alternatives. So making a plan, having a list and all of that ahead of time kind of goes into number 2, which is making sure we have healthier alternatives. So what do I mean by that? Well, for game day. So, we have a big game, football game coming up this weekend with Michigan versus Ohio State. So, what do? Well, maybe instead of, barbecue laden chicken, because barbecue sauce is very sugared, it's really bad for me. I can't have it. So I think ahead, well, maybe a buffalo sauce. There are certain buffalo sauces that do not have added sugar in them. Or maybe there's some other herbs or sauces that don't have the sugar content in it, and that it's not going to make me break the good work that I've done so far, but yet I can still enjoy chicken as an appetizer with friends. So that would be one example. Another example is I love hummus, and normally I in the past would be pita chips or tortilla chips or something with hummus, and it's just really good. Now hummus is a pretty healthy alternative, as long as you don't get anything with the sugar stuff in it. But so I will do carrot sticks, or I'll do some different veggie items that are crunchy, that go great with hummus. So I'm still getting the hummus. But it's a healthier alternative. So I can still munch on things, but it is not going to, of course, majorly spike my blood sugar, or it's not going to ultimately hurt my efforts. So create healthier alternatives. I have a friend who is doing keto, and she is just hitting it out of the park. She's doing fantastic. And she actually really works hard to create healthier versions of even desserts, just healthier, low carb, no sugar options. And so, I try try to avoid delving too much into desserts because I don't want to fall back into, I'm a sugar addict, so I don't want to fall too much into my addiction. But I think it's wonderful to come up with healthier alternatives that you can enjoy, that, a lot of them are decadent, but yet they're not high in sugar, and they're not high in a lot of those other things that negatively impact our health. So create healthier alternatives. Okay, number 3, don't go to the get-togethers hungry. So this advice, which I can't take credit for it, I've heard this throughout the years of my health experience, but it is very true for me. If I eat a small healthy meal before I go to an event, I do much better. And so for me, it might just be a bowl of hot soup. Another thing that I do is I'll do a nice protein combo. And I don't get overly full, but I just have something small, healthy, that's filling. So that way, when I go to the event, I'm not like gonna break my will or break whatever and just like shovel everything in my mouth, because I've already kind of fed myself and I'm not majorly hungry. And so it will help with my willpower, and it will help, honestly, I will feel full fast. So because I've already, ate beforehand. And so that always helps too. So before you go to an event, if you are really serious about staying true to your health journey this holiday season, this works for me. I just eat a little bit of something healthy that is filling before I go to the party. And then that way I make such better choices. So hopefully that tip works for you too. All right, tip number 4. Okay, here's the one that I'm gonna be honest with you is hard for me to do, but I'm including it here because not everyone shares my struggles. And number 4 tip is eat in moderation. If you are a sugar addict like me, so I have given up added sugars. That's what I'm working on right now. Eating any kind of sugar in moderation cannot work for me because I am addicted to it. And so it'd be like telling an alcoholic, well, just drink a little alcohol in moderation. Well, you can't do that when you're an addict because, it's binging happens, going down the rabbit hole happens. And so for me, I have to be very careful. I actually have to cut off sugar. I cannot have it. However, I know that not everyone is like that. And this does apply in certain things that I enjoy that are still maybe not entirely healthy for me. So here's an example. Mashed potatoes. I'm a mashed potatoes girl at Thanksgiving. I love them. They're especially the homemade kind with a little bit of gravy. I enjoy them. It's just great. And it reminds me of, my mom and my grandma making amazing mashed potatoes, and I'm a mashed potato girl. What can I say? And so I'm not going to avoid those. I know that. So I'm planning ahead. I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to do a small serving of mashed potatoes and gravy. I'm going to enjoy every bite of it, and then I'm going to be done. I'm not going to make excess mashed potatoes like I normally do, where I will have days and days and days of extras. I'm going to make just enough that what will feed the family that's coming over, and hopefully really limit the amount that I can have, so that way I don't eat in excess later. Another one I love is green bean casserole. So I'm a green bean casserole girl, and I know some of you are not. So you're like, oh, green bean casserole, that's horrible. I like it. And so I already know that I'm just going to allow myself a little bit of green bean casserole, and I'm still going to fill most of my plate with veggies. We'll have broccoli, we'll have other stuff there, and so I'll fill a lot of it with that, but I am going to have a few of the things that bring me some enjoyment to the Thanksgiving meal this week. So moderation is important. It's not like, I know like different programs like Weight Watchers and things like that, they encourage moderation, and you even have extra points or extra things in your week that you can incorporate that in. And so that is something that, and if you can have that cookie or that thin slice of pie or eat like a bite or two of some dessert and be done with it, I wish I was you. Enjoy it, enjoy it in moderation. I am not that person. I will have to completely avoid the desserts. And so we'll see. My sister-in-law is bringing a sugar-free mousse she wants me to try. So maybe I'll try the sugar-free mousse. But we'll see how it is. But enjoy in moderation because it is the holidays, and, obviously get-togethers and things like that. It's fun, but just be careful because of tip number 5. And that is, hold on, I'm turning my notebook so I can make sure I get this right. Tip number 5 is simply this: remember your why, okay? Remember your why, and here's why. There's a little saying that I have incorporated into my health journey, and it's simply this: it might taste good today, but it won't feel good tomorrow. And I want you to remember that. It might taste good in the moment, but it is not going to feel good the next day. It's not going to feel good when you're bloated from too much salt consumption. It's not going to feel good when you get on a scale and you've gained some pounds. It doesn't feel good. Like for me, if I eat certain things, if I eat whatever, gluten especially, if I eat sugar, my joints ache. That was one of the reasons why I gave up sugar, is because everything was hurting. And so if I eat gluten, especially, I feel it the next day. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm in pain. So I have to be very careful. And so I just remember my why. Like, okay, yes, I know that looks delicious and I will probably enjoy it in the moment, but I will not enjoy it in the next day and the day after that. So remember your why. And here is, a little tip for all of us, like a little extra freebie tip thrown in here. And that is simply this: enjoy the company more than the food. Enjoy your company. I think so much of us, especially in America, we, food is just such a staple of a lot of our get-togethers and all of that. And there's nothing wrong, of course, with enjoying that. But more importantly, is just enjoying the company. So enjoying the people that you're going to get with. Are you going to a friend's house for the college game? Are you going to do some Christmas parties coming up the next couple weeks? Are you going to have a bunch of people over for Thanksgiving? Or, whatever it is, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the people you're with more than you enjoy the food. Don't make food the focus. Make the relationship building, make time together, maybe play games with everyone, maybe do things to where you're active and you're getting out and doing stuff and just enjoying each other more than it is really focused on food. Because I know with me, with my health journey, I've had to learn to look around and just appreciate things around me, and get my focus off of my addiction, because that is just really how strong it was in my life. All right, so 5 tips and a freebie, to remember this holiday season, and ultimately to, and y'all know that I do like a gratitude journal, but Thanksgiving is such an important week because it just reminds us to be thankful for everything that we have. And I'm so thankful for all of you, and I'm thankful that we're all doing this health journey together. And I just hope that this can give you some encouragement and some tips for the holiday season to avoid getting sabotaged by sweets and all that stuff, okay? And I hope this was a blessing. If so, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, share it, that'd be great. And let's do this journey together. All right, have a blessed day and a blessed week.